When a child has to choose between its parents, it's an impossible job. As children, we're loyal to both our parents, and if external circumstances such as acrimonious divorce or the like force us to choose, we may on the surface do that. We may choose for one parent, perhaps the parent we live with, but we will always be subconsciously loyal to the other parent, and very often that would come out in ways that would not be helpful to you. You will end up copying completely unconsciously the heavy fate of the excluded parent. You may find yourself repeating patterns of the parent that you're not consciously loyal to, but subconsciously, and generally that is to do with heavy emotions or with difficult behavior, perhaps feeling down, not being able to hold down work, or failing in your relationships, whatever it is. Consider how in the area where you potentially are struggling with, you may be unconsciously loyal to the parent that has perhaps been excluded. If you have felt an internal split, that you had to choose between both of your parents, and as a child this task, as I said, is impossible. So what happens is that on a conscious level we may be forced to choose for one, but our unconscious is 100% loyal also to the other parent. So I would like to invite you into a meditation on this subject, to discover if you are suffering from this split loyalty within yourself, and what you can do to change that and heal this internal wound, which perhaps you were not aware of, apart from suffering these external consequences in your life. So close your eyes. And I invite you in your mind's eye to feel into your position as a child. Feel your body as you sit here now, including any sensations. Perhaps you feel a tightening in the chest or in the throat, an uncomfortable sensation in your belly. Whatever is arising, it is welcome and it is seen and recognized. If you have a tendency to push that away, to distract yourself from discomfort or pain, notice that too. And see both your parents in front of you. Just visualize your parents. It is not important to do that in detail. You can just feel their presence in front of you. And notice if you're able to hold the image or the presence of both your parents together. And for this exercise, it does not matter if a parent has passed away. This is really getting in touch with your relationship to your parents, and that is always present, irrespective if the parent lives or has passed away. And it does not matter if your parents are divorced. The child has right to both the parents. And see if you have, in a felt sense, a loyalty towards one or the other parent. Do you feel the link with one parent much stronger? And do you have a tendency to shun the other parent? Observe your physical reaction as both of your parents in your imagination take place in front of you. And you may want to address now your parents with the words, Mum and Dad, I am your child. And it is your relationship between you is not my business. I leave that and the responsibility for that relationship with you both. And observe in your own body if you have, without realizing, carried something of a responsibility for the relationship between your parents. To the extent that you have risen above your position as child. And to the extent you are able to find your position as the innocent child that had taken on too much responsibility and is now, with all respect, letting go and leaving the responsibility with the parents where it belongs. To that extent, you are able to allow the current of life to stream through you so that your actions become effortless and you no longer have to carry burdens that are not your own. And now look at your parents, and we will address each in turn. You can say to your mother, Dear Mum, I am the child of you and Dad, and I have every right to feel the child of my father. And you can now turn towards your father and address him, Dear Dad, I am the child of you and Mum, and I have every right to feel and be the child of Mum. And as you speak these words or your own words to this effect, notice if there's one or possibly both parents that may have difficulty with that, that may feel resistance to you having a very natural, loving bond with the other parent. perhaps you even find it difficult to speak these words out. Perhaps your conscious loyalty to one parent is so great that it doesn't feel appropriate for you to feel the connection with your other parent. And if you notice reluctance on the part of one parent, or perhaps both, you can address that parent, or even both parents, to say, your judgment and your opinion of my other parent, I leave with you. I am but a child, and a child has the right to both parents. And now take a minute to feel the connection with the excluded parent, the parent where you've had perhaps difficulties connecting consciously with. The parent that is being rejected by the one to whom you're consciously loyal. And if there's resentment, if there's any difficult emotion, acknowledge that. If there's hurt for something that has happened, name that. Allow it to be. Allow it to be heard. And despite what has happened, you can address the excluded parent with the words, "Dear Dad" or "Dear Mum, I am your child. And as a child of yours, I have a love for you. And that love I choose now to experience consciously, and thereby free myself of any unconscious ways that I have tried to show my love. By copying difficult circumstances, behavior, or emotions from your past, from your fate. I leave that fate with you and honor you in your difficult fate or circumstances. Look kindly on me as I carry only my fate and make something good out of my life in my way. And feel now the bond with this parent. Perhaps you can feel that there is much more of a connection now. And turn to the other parent where your conscious loyalty has been. And if they're open to you to reconnect with the excluded parent, thank them for it. And if they're not, if they're holding on to their resentment, leave that with them You're not bigger than them. You don't know, you don't have all the answers. You simply choose to reconnect with a parent that you've been unconsciously connected with through trying to carry their fate. And now you choose a conscious connection. And it could be that this exercise provokes a lot of pain in you, the realization of how difficult it has been to be in the position of having to choose between your parents. Allow space for that. Allow for those grieving inner child parts of you to heal. And we do that not by pushing them away, but by embracing them. And by lovingly allowing them the space to be experienced, to be comforted by our own presence with them, so that the inner child can be healed and these old pains, having been seen and embraced, can subside all by themselves. So feel now how it is to slowly open your eyes and reconnect with your surroundings. I'd be very happy to hear how you found this meditation, what your insights have been, and how it is in real life, having integrated these internally split parts within yourself, how you can resume your relationships, not only within your family of origin, but broader, because these are, of course, patterns that we inherit and we apply to all our relationships. So when we heal this completely foundational level of allowing love to stream between both our parents and ourselves, we heal in so many ways that are applicable to our current relationships. Thank you very much for watching.